Hey guys, so for today's video I wanted to do a first impressions on this foundation here. It's the Australis Mix It Colour Correcting Foundation. I did get this a while ago, but I haven't got around to doing a first impressions yet. I put it on my Snapchat story and asked if you guys wanted to see a first impressions on it, and heaps of you said yes. This is the shade Nude. I don't know if this is the lightest one. I was just sent it from PR. It looks like it's going to be a pretty good match, so fingers crossed. I'll just pull up some information about it so we can see if it delivers what it promises. So according to the Australis website, this is a creamy, lightweight, water-based foundation that provides medium to full coverage, soft focus, leaves skin with a natural satin finish, color corrective benefits of yellow pigments, helps to conceal dark circles, the mauve pigments correct dullness for a more radiant appearance, and the green pigments help neutralize redness for a more even skin complexion. It says the best results apply to a clean face, mix various shades to find your perfect shade. Oh, okay, is that why it's called Mix It Foundation? Well, I mean, this looks like my shade, so I didn't know you're supposed to mix them. That does make sense though. They only sent me one, so it must not be that bad to just use one. It says it's free from parabens, gentle to the skin, soothing and calming, licorice root, it's got argan oil and pink grapefruit essential oil, all the stuff, plus it's vegan friendly, so it's got a lot of good stuff in there. I did see, I think it was Crystal Conti's review of this, and she didn't like it that much, so we'll just have to wait and see, but it's promising a lot of stuff. Let's clip my hair back. Today I am filming one other video and I've got like a ton of editing to do today, so I'm going to be in the house all day, but it's quite a stressful day. I've got a lot of stuff to do, so I'll just check back in throughout the day. Probably after like 5 hours I'll check in, and then again tonight before I wash it off, and we'll see how it holds up. I'll just prime half my face, which is what most people do in foundation first impressions, just so we can see if the primer helps it wear better. I'll use an Australis one too, because why not? I've only tried this one so far, so I guess I'll just stick with this, so I'm not using anything new. They sent me an original primer, a See You Later Pores spot primer, and then this one's just a blemish primer, which I used first because I haven't tried one like this. I thought it was an interesting concept. It's supposed to help fight acne. So I'll just apply this to half my face. This video isn't sponsored by Australis, by the way. I just realised it looks suspicious because everything's Australis, but yeah, it's not. Not that it would matter if it was, because I only do sponsorships I like anyway, but there you go. So this is quite a lightweight, thin primer. The side of my skin is feeling a little bit dehydrated, so I'm presuming it's not going to apply as well on this side. Impressive, bro. Okay. So I'm just going to apply this with a Sigma, what is this, round kabuki brush, the F82 brush. The nozzle just looks like that. It's like a little plastic container, both the lid and the bottle are plastic, which is good for traveling, but it doesn't look that fancy. I'm not really a fan of the packaging. It's quite like teenage girl, preteen, you know. So I'm just going to dot this on my face. It's thicker than I expected. I thought it would be more like MAC face and body. I don't know why. I thought it would be like runny. It's not super thick, but it's definitely quite a thick, creamy one. Whew, straight away noticing the scent. Oh, it really reminds me of something. It'll come to me, I feel. So if you have sensitive skin, I might steer clear of this because it could break you out if you're sensitive to fragrances. It's very strong. It's not an unpleasant scent, but it's a strange scent for a foundation. Yeah, it smells like, it smells exactly, I know what it smells like. I had this soap from Lush which was called Porridge Soap. So weird, it smells exactly like porridge soap, but like slightly orangey, which is a good soap. I love the smell of that, but very odd for a foundation to smell like oatmeal and porridge. Good to put on in the morning, I guess. It's like breakfast themed. It's just normal in terms of how far it goes. It doesn't take a lot of product to do a certain area, but it's not like super thin that you hardly need anything. It's just like normal. On the prime side, super blendable, so easy to buff in. I actually really like the colour. It's very natural. So far I would not say it's medium coverage. It claims to be medium to full. I would definitely say it's a light coverage because I can still see all my freckles, all my little like sunspots and blemish scars and all that kind of thing. So there it is with one coat. Really like it. I'd probably leave it like that, to be honest. I've been more into my medium and full coverage foundations lately, but I really like how this makes my skin look. It might just be that it looks healthier because I do have a wee bit of gradual tan moisturizer on. I'm not like actually fake tanned, but I would say this would be slightly too dark for me if I was at my absolute palest, so I have got a wee bit of warmth to my skin, but it matches perfectly. For a light coverage foundation, it's really beautiful and even, but it does claim to be medium to full coverage, so I'll just add a bit more to my T-zone and we will see if that makes the coverage a lot fuller. It definitely layers really nicely, but I'd say at best the coverage is medium now. It's definitely still not full. You can't go over a certain spot too much because it has kind of darkened the areas where I layered it, if you know what I mean, which is often the problem when you do have fairer skin. You can't layer stuff as well. So far I do like it though. It looks very natural and glowy. I wouldn't really agree that it's a satin finish. I'd say it's quite dewy. Hopefully you can see on camera it's got quite a nice dewy glow to it, which I like, but again it's not what it claimed to be, so might be bad if you were just going off the website and you ordered this. Just taking a bit of MAC Pro Longwear concealer under my eyes, and I'll set it with a bit of powder too, because this is what I would usually do. So I'm trying to base this as much on my everyday foundation routine as I can, so I can properly judge it. Also just applying a wee bit of spot concealer on my forehead, because I've got a few little lumpy bumps sticking through. Normally I just leave it, but I am filming a video after this, so I would like my skin to look a bit more full coverage than usual. So there's the skin all finished. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of my makeup on, then I'm going to film a video, do some editing, and I will check back in with you guys. But so far, based on how it looks right now, I would wear it again. I really like it, but only time will tell how good it lasts. So I'll talk to you guys again soon. Hey guys, I'm back. It has been 4 hours since I last checked in. Checking the time just reminded me I have a discount code for this watch. I think it's Sally something. Let me just double check. Daniel Wellington kindly sent this to me and they gave me a code as well, which I think I put on Snapchat. But if you guys don't follow me on Snapchat, I will just read it out for you. Get the discount. I don't get money off the discount or anything like that. It's just literally if you want to buy a watch, you can get 15% off. Okay, the code Sally15 gives 15% off everything until the 15th of the 8th month, which is August. So the 15th of August, 15% off if you use Sally15. I'm glad I remembered to mention that, otherwise knowing me I would have like forgotten about the code and then it would have expired and no one would have got any savings if they bought this watch. Anyway, so it's been 4 hours. Bring my mirror a bit closer so we can see some pore action. It's holding up really well in terms of colour. There's no patchiness anywhere. Still feels nice and set. My T-zone isn't shiny yet, which is a big plus for me because usually my nose does feel a little bit tacky if I like touch it, but usually my nose is quite shiny after like 4-ish hours in the foundation. That's just where I get oil on my nose. So it's not super oily, a tiny bit in the like crevice there. I love that word, crevice. Also my smile lines aren't very bad, which is actually a big plus for me because pretty much every foundation they settle into is holding up really nicely, even on the non-prime side. It's definitely slightly worse on the non-prime side, and it's worn off around my mouth a bit more on the non-primed side, but that's because I did just show a few lip colours in a different video probably. So the primer has helped it not sink into my lines as much, but it's still sunk into my pores just as much, although that wasn't a pore minimizing primer, so can't really fault it too much. And wearing a frosty highlight like this often does accentuate your pores anyway. I'm really impressed so far. I don't know what I was expecting from this foundation, but I didn't expect it to be this good. I can safely conclude this foundation would be fine to wear out to an event or out shopping, like going to town for 4 or 5 hours. It would be good, but I know some of you out there wear foundations for like 9 or 10 hours, so I will check back in another 5-ish hours, which should be about 9 o'clock. And we'll see how it's holding up then. Hey guys, I'm back. It is now 8:30, so it's been an additional 4.5 hours-ish. Lost the natural lighting outside, but hopefully you can still see fine from my studio lights. And I've got to say, I'm so impressed. It looks really good still. There's no patches. The only place that has gone kind of crappy is around my mouth. I did film a video where I was doing lip swatches and I just chucked a gloss on then to film again, but it's definitely easily touched up. I just didn't touch it up for the sake of this video, but usually I just chuck a bit more foundation around my mouth and it would be fine. So it has worn off there, but I totally forgive it for that because I was like rubbing my mouth with the tissue. Besides that, I can't see anywhere where it's worn off, like even at my forehead here. I usually get foundations wearing off around here because I'm always like pushing my hair back like that. And yeah, it's still really good. It's definitely settled a bit more into my settled a little bit more into the fine lines around my mouth, still more so on the non-prime side. So again, I would wear primer with this foundation if you're going to wear it. The pores, yeah, they do look a bit worse than before. They're definitely deeper. I don't really get them looking much worse than this, to be honest. I don't have like terrible pores, but it's definitely not very attractive. Very impressed with the shine control though. Definitely not a matte foundation or a satin foundation really, as you saw when I applied it. But it has kept my oil at bay really well. My nose is barely even shiny. Hopefully you guys can see it's a bit shiny in the crease there, which is to be expected, but yeah, usually my foundation would be like melting off my nose by now after like 8 hours, so actually might be a nice one for those of you who have normal to oily skin. Maybe not full on oily, but normal to oily definitely. Also good for dry skin. It didn't cling to any of my dry patches. It was really easy to blend even on the side with no primer. Overall, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Incredibly impressed with it. The only reason it's not getting a 10 out of 10 is A, because I don't think it's marketed as the right kind of... Ooh, someone's getting their car outside. I don't think it's marketed right because it did say it was a satin finish, which to me it wasn't. And it also said it was medium to full coverage, which to me it's definitely not. After doing 2 layers of it and putting on concealer and powder, it's given me a nice medium coverage, but it's still more on the light side, I would say. So for that, it loses a point. And then also, I mean, it's not perfect. It has sunk into my smile lines and pores and stuff. So that's my verdict on this foundation. I'd love to know if you guys have tried it and what you thought down below. And also let me know what foundation you would like me to review next. I can't stop looking at it. I'm really impressed with this foundation. You go, Australis. It's a good one. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll talk to you soon. Bye! Tutorial is on this romantic, kind of sultry makeup look. I think this is so beautiful for a fancy dinner date or anytime you want to look really glamorous. Need like a staple brush, and these kind of do it all. So I'd recommend getting these first. You can get smaller crease brushes. Like I do like these ones from e.l.f. This one is the Professional Blending Eye Brush.